Hello, class. So I got an email from Elia. Elia mentioned about right. So the TCA cycle, there are two reaction release only NADH. However, and when malate become oxaloacetate, at that time is NADH plus proton. So this is kind of a question. Why some reaction release just NADH, but why another reaction release NADH plus proton? So does it make sense? But actually, our PowerPoint slide has a chemical reaction, but I think I can explain better. And another one, even biochemistry biochemistry textbook, sometimes they didn't put because they believe like this. I'm not even sure, right? So they believe this proton is not really important for them, right? But because that is just biochemistry or biology class. But we are kinesiology major. We exercise until to failure, fatigue is right. Did you remember? We feel fatigue, not ATP concentration, right? We feel fatigue because of metabolic acidosis is right. So this is why always like this kind of proton, if you see, this is important. So does it make sense? So I want to spend time a little bit and explain this reaction, TCA cycle. Does it make sense? Yeah. Actually, it's not really exam, but it's really important to understand our whole chapter or how all mechanism in our living cell. So this is important. So I want to spend time, right? So could you see TCA cycle always start oxaloacetate, is right? OAA. Did you remember? And another one, this reaction I just condensed, just focus NADH. Yeah, does it make sense? We have 8 steps, but I prepare only 4 steps. Doesn't make sense? Doesn't make sense. It's not include all of them. So first, oxaloacetate. See, this is a kind of chemical reaction, chemical structure is right. Oxaloacetate is waiting, and acetyl coenzyme A bring acetic acid. Does it make sense? Pyruvate release 1 CO2 become acetic acid. But acetic acid cannot move to the TCA cycle independently. So this is why the coenzyme A with acetic acid to come to the TCA cycle give this acetic acid to the oxaloacetate, and coenzyme A go back to the stage 2 carbohydrate metabolism to get more acetic acid. Does it make sense? Yeah. And another one, when I teach exercise physiology undergraduate level, because this is too high, right? Even if our graduate level is too high, I didn't talk about, but actually when oxaloacetate become citrate, we need water. Does it make sense, right? Oh, this is important, right? Some reaction need water, is right? This is a kind of substrate. So oxaloacetate, acetyl coenzyme A, and water become citrate, and coenzyme A go back to the stage 2 of carbon metabolism, and we have hydrogen ion. Doesn't make sense? Yeah. But undergraduate level, and I believe most of the exercise physiology class didn't teach, right? Doesn't teach, right? Do not teach. So please watch here. So this is oxaloacetate. Please watch here. This is the acetic acid, and this is coenzyme A. But actually, coenzyme A is a formal structure. It's a sulfur hydrogen coenzyme A. So SH coenzyme A is right. Yeah. So actually coenzyme A need hydrogen. Doesn't make sense? Yeah. So please watch here. So this acetic acid give 1 hydrogen to the sulfur coenzyme A. So finally it's become sulfur hydrogen coenzyme A. Is right? See? Doesn't make sense? So this hydrogen go to here, right? So it's right now CH2. CH2 is right. And CO, right? So this acetic acid with oxaloacetate, right? See, it's here. This is acetic acid. Acetic acid is here, right? But CH2, because 1 proton go to the coenzyme A. Doesn't make sense? Doesn't make sense? This proton go to here. Is right? And there are water. This is water. Is right? So water is here. Proton, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen. So 1 hydrogen go to the is here. So is where is, yeah, so this side, see, it's become of this H is here, I'm sorry, it's this side, so hydrogen go to here, see, because here, right, as well as acetic acid is here, so it's right now CH2 COO COO COO. What is this? This is carbonic group. Carbonic group is right. So three carbonic group. So TCA, right? Doesn't make sense, right? Tricarboxylic acid group, right? Yeah. So TCA, right? It becomes citrate. Doesn't make sense. Just I want to show the hydrogen is a floor, right? So one hydrogen to here, so become is finally is an independent form coenzyme A sulfur hydrogen, right? And from the water, one hydrogen come to here, and oxygen come to the here. Actually, acetic acid part, right? So finally become citrate and coenzyme A, and one of the proton from the water, oh, is here, right? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. So this is why we have extra proton is here. Doesn't make sense. But chemistry and other classes, because they do not really focus too much like a hydrogen, so many times they just omit, right? Do not really show them, right? So even I have a chemistry book is here, and another exercise chemistry book for exercise physiologists, right? They didn't really show, right? They didn't really show. Yeah, so this is why I kept saying my PowerPoint is important after your graduation, because there are not too many good textbooks explain like this, right? Yeah, doesn't make sense. It's become citrate, right? And citrate, there are some like real arrangement become isocitrate is right. But today I just focus hydrogen, so this is why I didn't put the citrate become isocitrate. Doesn't make sense. So right now this is isocitrate. So isocitrate to become what is this? Alpha ketoglutarate, right? The enzyme name is isocitrate dehydrogenases. So take out hydrogen. So please watch here. So where is yeah. So first, because it release one CO2 is right. So this CO2 from here, this CO2 here, yeah, between this one, right? This CO2 is here, and see there are no COO, right? And two proton. Where is it? One of the these two proton combined together, so become CH2 is right. Actually, this one to move to here, right? So CH2, right? So this oxygen here, and another one, this hydrogen, right? Go to the NAD plus. So this is why become NADH. But not right now is a net is there are no proton. Wow, isn't there are no proton? Is it right? Doesn't make sense. But how about proton is here? Is it right? So when we count, we should count this one. Doesn't make sense. But most of textbook didn't put this proton, is right? Sometimes they just talk about, just put the proton is here, but do not really explain like this. So doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. So this is why we are so confused. We are so confused. And this alpha ketoglutarate, oh, and anything is from the my PowerPoint slide, so it's already over there, but I want to spend time to explain, right? So this is alpha ketoglutarate, and alpha ketoglutarate, right, become, oh, I didn't put, right, succinate, is right, succinyl coenzyme A, right, succinyl coenzyme A, I'm sorry, succinyl coenzyme A is become succinyl coenzyme A. It cannot just go there, it cannot just do that, right, because it needs coenzyme A. So this is a little bit different, right? And again, there are NAD plus also because it releases proton and electron, right? So when become like this, how about, right? See, this coenzyme A's independent form has sulfur hydrogen, is right? This is coenzyme A, is right? But this hydrogen first become succinyl coenzyme A, but this hydrogen go to the NAD plus, so this is why it become NADH. Doesn't make sense, right? And this COO minus, then it becomes CO2, right? So this is why there are no proton. We do not need to release no proton, right? So net, there are 0 proton, right? Just NADH. Doesn't make sense, yeah. And next one is malate, right? So there are another reaction is here, but I just focus NADH plus proton. And malate, but actually before this reaction, malate has, malate get water. When what is femorare become to malate if put the water, right? So using this water, we have more hydrogen. So one hydrogen, two hydrogen molecule go to the NAD plus. So this is why it's become NADH plus proton. And after take out two hydrogen, it become oxaloacetate. Doesn't make sense? See, if you see, this is exactly like this, and the cycle is it's continuous, right? And how about it release two hydrogen, but why become Na plus proton, right? So I would like to explain it here. So I think I already write down it here. See, so it release hydrogen, but you know, you can rewrite hydrogen like this. Hydrogen has proton and electron. So this is hydrogen. So hydrogen has proton and electron, right? This is hydrogen. But usually we can just write down it like this, right? Yeah. And NAD plus, this molecule is NAD plus mean less electron, less one electron, right? Yeah. So this case, how about give this electron to the here, so it's become NAD. And but it give electrons so become proton is right. And but how about this one, right? So this is proton electron, actually hydrogen is right. So this hydrogen come here, right? So this is NADH. So nothing. So this is a proton. So it's become NADH plus proton, right? Doesn't make sense? Doesn't make sense. Yeah. So this is why is this reaction release NADH plus proton, but two reaction release only NAD plus NADH and NADH, right? Doesn't make sense? Doesn't make sense. So how about net? 3 NADH, one proton, and there another proton. Did you remember? When oxaloacetate acid coenzyme becomes citrate, there are another proton is right. So net yield is 3 NADH and 2 proton, right? So doesn't make sense. So this is a kind of a net yield of NADH and proton through the TCA cycle. So this is kind of like answer to the like Elia, but maybe other student has the same question too. Why sometimes NADH plus proton, or sometimes just NADH, right? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. And another one is our exam is this Wednesday. So you must come to the class, a Zoom meeting is our normal routine Zoom meeting, right? You should come, and I'll be there 5 to 5:30, right? So 30 minutes. If you have any question, please come earlier. But our exam will start 5:30, is right? 5:30. I believe you need only 1 hour, but just in case, I'll make a time is available 1 hour 30 minutes, right? Doesn't make sense? Doesn't make sense? Yeah. So any question, please email me. And question the face-to-face, please come a little bit earlier, so 5 o'clock instead of 5:30. Yeah, doesn't make sense. And last Wednesday, I explained and I promise you. So I take a picture, my drawing, as well as my note about your essay style question, and I already posted our module like this week. Next week, this week, yeah, this week's module. So please check there. So it can be really helpful you, right? So doesn't make sense? I think it's perfect answer, right? So I hope so, right? So it is a good time. So please study hard and focus. Our quiz question is right after finish my lecture. I always quiz is right. That quiz is important, right? So please focus that quiz. So or if you already took it, that case, you can go back to our PowerPoint slide. There are slides. Every slide is important, but some slide has quiz mark, right? So that slide is important for your exam. Doesn't make sense? And I already let you know we have a 3-style essay question. I already did in our class. So if you want to watch again, go back to our Zoom recording so you can watch, right? Doesn't make sense? Any question, please email me or come to the next Wednesday 5 o'clock, right? I think that's it, right? Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.